Alright, what's shaking, dudes? This is Tom Burkart from Car Revs Daily. We are in the 2015 Cadillac Escalade EXT. And I think this review will be extra relevant because I just got out of the brand new 2015 Lincoln Navigator. So let's try to do some comparisons of these guys. So first off, I think the Escalade is a little better looking. Even versus the updated Navigator. So that's going to be, a big selling point in this sort of like style-oriented super SUV market. And you get in and it has a little bit more V8 burble, of course, obviously, versus the new turbocharged 6 in the Navigator. And this wood, this open pore wood, is really, really nice. It's cool. It's really the wood. I mean, you can feel its elements there, and that's seems like a detail thing. But it is really fantastic. It's so in terms of comparisons of the two machines, these are direct competitors, but the Escalade generally runs about $5,000 to $10,000 to even $15,000 more than the Navigator. So that's a not insignificant upgrade. But they both, the Navigator felt significantly more luxurious than I would have ever expected, and rode really, really well. It has MR, the magneto rheological ride control shocks, as well, similar to this Escalade. So that makes a really big difference in its capability, because it is extremely smooth. The Navigator is much quieter than this car. Sorry, I guess because I had the window open. But even with the they feel they're pretty similar with all the windows up there, but there is a lot more exhaust bellow from the Escalade, which is either a good or bad thing depending on like sort of how intensive a driver you are. We also have a lane departure warning on the Escalade and the GM safety seat, which does like a little bit of a pulse in the seat as you if you go over like a line marker or something. So let's just do a little launch here. We're in like an industrial place. Oops. There's a little bit of a laggy. The throttle feels a little laggy on this Escalade, but it is quick. And this is the EXT, so this is the really big one. So for it to be so quick is pretty surprising. So that's nearly a quarter mile right there. We have the digital display right now in the Cadillac showing, and it's only showing me. We don't have much time to get to know about the cars like before I start recording. So I'm trying to just figure out the gauges and figure out why it's just showing me like speedometer right now, and really nothing else. Oh, okay. Info, heads-up display. I'm not really sure how to change that, but it does have a digital display cluster in the center there, which is different than the Navigator, and it has a little bit more of a unique feel to the controls. Some of the Navigator, despite being so comfortable and having such nice leather and really, really impressive, it's just the nav is just much more impressive than I thought. The Escalade does feel very special, and you're in this big giant flagship of a car, so that is pretty cool. So let's try to. There's nobody behind us. Let me try to turn off the. We're in two-wheel drive mode right now. I wanted to turn off the traction control, but in two-wheel drive, it'll definitely, as you can see, it was eager to spin the tires just on a full throttle. So that's nice, and the ride is like pretty flinty. It's a little bouncy. We're on a private road. I'm in the wrong place. I'm gonna turn around. So, but it does feel a little bit flinty. I think there are probably settings for. Okay, here we go. Just a second. What is this? Sorry to try to learn this on camera. Traction control on. Touring. Okay, so we're in touring right now, so that should be a little sportier. Or excuse me, you have the options of touring and sport, so it should be a little smoother now in touring. But I gotta say, I thought the Navigator was a little bit smoother than this. our picture spot. You know, this is not a very thorough review. I'm sorry, guys. Hasn't been too exciting. And I will work much harder in the future to try to figure out more about the Escalade in particular. To try to give a little bit of a better review. But overall, you know, it looks fantastic. The cabin is really, really nice. I like the way it drives, and I think that owners will be really pleased with it. But don't write off the Navigator would be my main message of this video, because hopping in from one to the other really shows that they are very, very competitive vehicles. All right, we'll see you guys soon.